Now, the next thing we want to talk about is chords. Yeah? Chords. So what do I mean by chord? A chord simply is playing three or more notes at the same time. For instance, this is a note, this is a note, and this is a note. These are three notes, 1, 2, 3. So striking it at once is what you call a chord. So we have 3 notes chord, we have 4 notes chord, and 5 notes chord, and all that. But as a beginner, what you should start to learn is a 3 note chord, which is called triads. Triads, right? So there are 4 types of triads that you need to know. The first one is major triad, minor triad, diminished triad, and augmented triad. So those are the 4 types of triad you need to know. So I'm not going to go into explaining the 4 types of triad. I think I've done a video on that before. I'll put the link at the description. It's good that you know about the triads, how to build them, the intervals and all that. So, but in this video, I will just talk about the diatonic chords. So, every degree of the major scale has a chord built on it. So that chord built on every degree of the C major scale or any type of scale, any type of major scale, is what we call diatonic chords. I talked earlier about diatonic notes, and I said these are the notes that belong to a particular key. Now, diatonic chords are also chords that belong to a particular key. These are chords that belong to a particular key. So we want to talk about diatonic chords. And like I said, every degree of a major scale, that is C major scale we are talking about now, has a chord built on it. So those are the chords that we're going to look at, and those are the diatonic chords. So right now, the key of the C major scale is this. So what is the quality? Yeah, they call it quality. What's the quality of chord built on the first degree of the C major scale? The quality of chord. So what's the quality of chord? Is a major. And it contains the C, E, and the G, which is the first degree, the third degree, the fifth degree put together. So that's the C major chord. Then the chord built on the second degree of the C major scale is a minor, which has the D, F, and A. The chord built on the third degree of the C major scale is a minor also, which is E, G, and B. The chord built on the fourth degree, the quality of chord built on the fourth degree, is a major, which has F, A, and C notes. The quality of chord built on the fifth degree of the C major scale is a major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth degree is also a major, which has G, B, and D. The quality of chord built on the sixth degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is a minor, which has A, C, and E. The quality of chord built on the seventh degree, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is a diminished, which has B, D, and F. And then back to your one chord on the first degree. So that basically we have 3 major chords that are diatonic to any key, including the key of C, and 3 minor chords, and then 1 diminished chord. So the 3 major chords are built on the first degree, the fourth degree, and the fifth degree of any major scale. And then the minor chords are built on the second degree, the third degree, and the sixth degree. And then the diminished is on the seventh degree. All right, so that's that. So you have known your diatonic chords. So those are the diatonic chords in the key of C. Now, what's the next thing? I told you, theory, practice, put them together to have a desirable result. So after knowing the diatonic chords, you practice it with your fingers, with your hands. So it goes like this. You also do that with the left hand. When you're done with practice, when you're comfortable enough, you now put the 2 hands together. mind you, when you are practicing the chords, even the scale, the major scale, when you get a bit comfortable, it's advisable you begin to use your metronome or your beats so that you can monitor your speed. So if you start, maybe you start with maybe 80 BPM, then after a while you can increase it to 100. Maybe the next 2 weeks increase it to 120 or maybe 110, like that. So it can help you monitor your speed. All right, so those are the diatonic chords. You know it and then you practice it. So that's that. Another thing is to practice it broken. So that's where we'll talk about arpeggio. Arpeggio simply means playing a chord in a broken way. So I've been playing it in blocked way. So arpeggio means doing it like this. Yeah? So it's the same C chord, but now I'm playing the notes one by one, and that's arpeggio. So that's arpeggio. So you also practice it like that. So you practice the 1 chord, the 2 chord, the 3 chord, the 4 chord, 5, 6, 7, then back to your 1. Then come back. Do the same thing with the left hand. Then the 2 hands. Like that, up and down. So you practice it like that. So that's that for the diatonic chords. Another thing I want to talk about is inversions. Yeah? Inversion. Inversion simply means playing a particular chord in different positions. So for instance, if I have the key of C, I can as well play the key of C like this. So what did I do different? This is the key of C. I just took the C to a higher octave and I played it. So it's still C, but in a different position or in a different inversion. So I can also decide to take this E to a higher octave and I play it. It's still the C chord, but a different position. I can decide to still bring the G, take the G to a higher octave, and I have my root position again. So that is inversion, playing a particular chord different ways. Now the note does not change. The notes remain the notes in that chord, but the position changes. So this is C. So using C, showing you different inversion now. The key of C, this will be root position. Taking the C to a higher octave and leaving the E at the base will make it first inversion. Taking this E up now makes it second inversion. Taking this G up brings it back to the root position. So this is the root position, first inversion, second inversion, back to the root position. So it's good. Okay, that's the inversion, right? Now, what's the next thing? You practice the inversion. So you take a chord and you practice it. Go to the 2 chord, practice the same thing. So you take this D up, take this F up. So this is our root position, first inversion. Take this F up now, second inversion. Take this A up, go back to the root position. So practice it like that. Then the 3rd chord, the same thing, practice it. So after knowing that, you also do that with the left hand. So this is the 4th chord now. The 5th chord. Like that, to the end, to the 6, 7. And then when you're done with that, you now put the 2 hands together. Then go to the 2 chord. Then the 3 chord like that, to the end. So that's how to practice your inversion. After knowing inversion, then you practice it. Very important. As a beginner, these are the things you need to relate with, really. For you to get to that level that you desire to get to, you need to familiarize your fingers with these notes. right? So after playing the inversion, the next thing you need to do is to play the inversion in an arpeggiated way. In other words, play it like an arpeggio, as an arpeggio. So instead of playing C like this, you can try to do it like this. Arpeggio, right? Go to the next chord. You do that to the end. You come to the left hand, the same thing. Next chord. Now, when you start, you don't need speed. I'm even a bit fast. You have to do it slowly, according to your pace. What is important now is not speed. What is important is accuracy, to be able to play it without touching other notes, right? So when you have done that with the left hand, then you now put the two hands together. Do that in all the degrees of the major scale. So that is how to practice your inversions and your diatonic chords. Diatonic chords, using arpeggio, using inversions, and all that. Very important. So the next thing I want to talk about is progression. Yeah, at the end of the day, you are learning this. You are learning the piano to be able to play songs, to be able to play a piece of music, to be able to play songs. And then you need progression to be able to play all the songs. Progression is simply a series of chords that you put together to play in a particular song or in a piece of music or in anything. So it's basically a series of chords, a couple of chords you play in a particular piece or in a particular music, a particular song. Right? So that is progression. And we have several of them. We have 1, 2, 5, 1. We have 1, 4, 5. We have 1, 5, 1, 4 or 1, 4, 1, 5. Several of them. I'm going to leave about 10 of them here. So you're going to use that to practice your practice. So that, because really, when you sing songs, it's these progressions that we play. So by the time you practice the progression, and when it's time to play songs, you discover that maybe you're playing 1 or 2 of the progressions. So that's why it's good to practice it first, you know. So it becomes easier for you when you want to start playing songs. In the course of playing these progressions, you're also supposed to explore different inversions. You're not expected to be using just the root position only. You can use the root position, the second chord, like I'm playing 1, 4, 5, 1. But I'm not using root position. The 1 chord is using root position. The 4 chord is using second inversion, right? And then the 5 chord is using first inversion. So you also explore the inversions. I would like to leave that to you, but there's a video I did a little of that. I did that in one video talking about inversion. I did that a little in that video. So I'm going to show you. I'm going to put the video here, and I'm going to show you where exactly you can forward the video to be able to get these examples. You can start with that, you know. So maybe, I don't know, in the future I can play some songs with the progression to show you more examples. But for now, I'd like to stop here. Thank you so much. I think as a beginner, these are the basic things you need to know. And then you can start layering on top of it, you know, talking about other more advanced stuff. But as a beginner, you have to know these things first before you move on. So that's that in the key of C. Subsequent videos, I'm going to show you, in other keys, I'm going to show you the same thing. So just in case, you know, as a pianist, your target should be playing in all 12 keys. And even if you don't want to play in all 12 keys for any reason, you should know the basic things in all 12 keys. Yeah, so I'm going to be showing you the basic things you need to know in all 12 keys in this series, different lessons. I'm going to show you the basic things you need to know. So even if you don't want to play in all 12 keys, know the basic things in all 12 keys. So just in case you find yourself in a situation where maybe the keyboard doesn't have a transpose button, or maybe you find yourself in any situation that you have to play on that particular key, then since you've known the basic in that key, you could just play it right? So that's that for this video. Please, I'd like you to comment on this video. Please leave your comment at the comment section. I want to know what you think about this video. What do you think I should have added that I didn't add, that a beginner should know, basic. And also keep it in your mind that I don't want the video to be too long. So I also considered that too. So that's why I don't want to talk about too much in this video. At least as a beginner, if you take this video and practice this and I just showed you, you're on your way to becoming a good pianist. Thank you so much. Please, I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. Click the notification